So we're on our way to Thunder Bay right now, as told by Canadian Immigrants has taken it to the streets live from Marina Park in Thunder Bay. We just witnessed the blessing of the fleet, tiny little fleet, what a fleet, you know. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Is it things that we can do there for family or for meeting people, friends, and connecting? So how about you?
As one of my high-level objectives is to help you guys.
So I think that Anna's Nicaraguas, she's very tired.
As told by Canadian Immigrant groupies. Hi.
If you find value after watching this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel.
Are you guys ready? We're heading to Thunder Bay. We missed the exit, so we're a little bit behind. That's the reason we're behind.
Yeah.
So we're on our way to Thunder Bay right now, and we are going to find out from the three folks, temporary workers, what their goal for this trip is. It can be a high-level goal, it can be a low-level, it can be both, or it can be three things that they want to achieve from going on this trip to Thunder Bay. Take it away, Sharina.
Yeah, so I would love to learn the job. If I don't, at least have some interviews and some prospects, network and make some connections.
Well, for me, to build connections and also enjoy nature. Thank you, my dear. So for me, my high level, I think everyone has the same goal, actually getting a job. And in the sense of getting a job is whether an interview or a job offer, because we will be spending a week, hopefully, in a perfect world. We hit the ground running by Monday, Tuesday. We meet some employers, get an interview before we leave on Friday, or an interview on the spot with a job offer in the next week or two. Even if I ate breakfast, a healthy start to the day is very important.
That was not a healthy start to the day. That was waffles and
so you know, so I had a healthy breakfast, guys, right? Eggs, which was protein,
look.
And we had some strawberries in the mix, strawberry jam. Okay, but I won't be eating again until later in the evening, which is dinner. So technically, it's not the downtown Toronto. However, it's not you know, Waterloo, or it's not the Ontario, like the Ontario that we know. But is it livable? Is it things that we can do there for family or for meeting people, friends, and connecting? So that's the low light for me. Christina, how about you?
So I am going to put your guys' needs as one of my high-level objectives is to help you guys to network, land jobs, and ideally in alignment with an immigration program, whether it be RCIP, REDI, or provincial nominee program. So I definitely want success for you guys. On this trip to Thunder Bay, we're deciding to drive. It's a little bit more economical to drive, unless there's an airline that wants to be nice to us, you know. However, we did get this car from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and this is a 2025 Kia Seltos. And there's a lot of safety features on here that I really appreciate for a 14-hour drive. So first of all, it has like lane detection. So it is picking up that, okay, we're in a lane right now, and if the car kind of just tries to veer off the lane, it kind of autocorrects and brings me back into the center of the lane without me doing that. It can keep the steering wheel going straight, just in case I just want to kind of be like an autopilot. So right now it's on cruise control, so that I follow the speed limit because I don't want to get a ticket or the speed limit changed. So I'm going to decrease the speed, the cruise control a little bit, because before we were in a 110 zone, right now we're in a 100 zone and we're approaching a 90 zone. So if you look here, I am decreasing the speed to enter into the 90 zone. My foot is not on the gas. So it's kind of self-driving, right? So we're gonna take off the steering wheel thing so I can have control. Blind spot detection, of course, and blind spot warning if I put the indicator on and somebody's there. So I think for a 14-hour drive, these safety features, I mean, even if you're driving under normal circumstances on the highway, I think for a very long drive, having a car with these safety features is extremely helpful. The GPS is nice and big on the display here, which I really like. And of course, we have temperature control that is helpful. I don't really need my phone here because it has Apple CarPlay. So this is all coming up from my phone. I just have my phone here because it's handy. But I really like this ride. We have a sunroof, although the weather isn't the greatest for that, of course, if we really wanted to. Or when we're driving around cruising Thunder Bay, we can open up the sunroof, but I really like this car. Heated steering wheel, of course, and I think this is the base model. The base model is gonna come with heated seats for both the passenger and the driver. The passenger one is probably over here, right? It's digital, not analog. And the heated steering wheel, nice leather wrapped steering wheel. These are leather seats as well. So I don't know what trim this is. However, I am really liking this car. Thank you, Kia. My car is also a Kia, so I like my car too. But my car is, I got it before all these safety features were a thing, you know, like lane, whatever, I think. But yeah, I appreciate this car. I like this car, and the safety features are helping us get to Thunder Bay safe and sound.
Welcome to Sault Ste. Marie. I'm Claudine. What you say you want a while ago?
Like some pizza oxtail.
Oh, well, this is as good as it gets. It's McDonald's. McDonald's. Oh,
my god.
Oh, all right, this is our, I don't know, 4th stop. I don't know what number we're on right now, but we've stopped right here.
Second.
Let's lock up. No, this is not our 2nd stop. This is our 2nd stop? No way. All right, we are halfway there. We are in Sault Ste. Marie. And this is the gang. Everybody's in the mirror. You can see me, you can see Hannah, Trina. We're frying some plantain in some basil infused oil. We're gonna see how that comes out. It was a thunderstorm this morning, so we kind of stayed in until the thunderstorm passed. So we didn't carry any cooking oil. So Claudine is giving me one to test, and while I'm testing it, she has put the rest in the pot. So there's already one to test it. Ice cream, waffles, egg. Yeah, mama, good. Okay. Good as gold. You don't even taste it. It tastes like plantain. We have a spread of water crackers, plantains, tuna and sardine mix, some papaya, some apples, and some peaches, prepared by the lovely Miss Claudine, who will be opening the first. I don't know if it's the first. We're going to find out if there's any other Jamaican restaurants in here, but yeah. Trina, are you excited to dig in?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, there's the lake. Good morning.
All right, Christina is now heading out at almost 12:30, but we had orientation. Trina?
So we had a restful night. Some people snored. Some
Oh my God!
Some
Let's leave the personal thing.
We won't call names. Yeah, but we had a restful night, and we're hitting the streets to make the most of our time here.
You want to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm happy that we're out and about today. Of course, we've already made some connections, you know. Talk to your Airbnb host, talk to people who they know, you know, because we're looking to meet people and make meaningful connections. And I think our Airbnb host is our new best friend, Claudine. Claudine is here on the premise of networking too. She probably doesn't even realize the network.
You're right.
So Claudine knows somebody that I know.
Yeah.
And the somebody that we know in common sends me a message and saying, oh, you know what, there's somebody that is in the immigrant community, is a temporary resident, she's on our permit, she probably needs some assistance. Can I connect you with her? I said, yeah man, connect me with her. Yeah. And we've been connected ever since.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's networking. We're walking the streets. We realize that we're kind of in downtown. So anywhere we go, we have to pay for parking. So we'll park a way out because we live in downtown.
We've eaten and now we're leaving. The place today is a ghost town almost. So we're gonna see how things go on tomorrow.
So, what went well today? Well, I think meeting with personnel from the Multicultural Center was very helpful, as that gave us insights into what is needed in the community and the processes that they go through to nominate people or to retain persons in the community. That for me, that is a bit of a concern because it was something I was thinking of. Like, I was wondering if all the employers on the list are actively seeking personnel now, but it could just be that they qualify, that they entered the program or made themselves eligible so that they are able to retain the talents that they already have. But still, there are other employees, since, well, speaking with personnel from New, she's letting us know that there are plans to expand the community, so they will need more people. So Thunder Bay is still a spot to consider.
I think what went well for every one of us, and I can speak to that, was that for every interaction that we made today, we had a connection. We had some sort of networking going on. And I think what stood out for us is that when we had the carpool and we were talking about how we network today, it's just by, hey, just reaching out, hey, going to certain events. For today, what went well was that for every person that we came in contact with, I'm not saying every single person, but once we opened her mouth and started communication, they had somewhere to point us to. And we can say that in Thunder Bay, they're a strong knit community that everybody knows everybody in the sense. So even going to the restaurant to have dinner tonight, someone knew someone, if you get what I'm saying. They were from Portland, right?
Right.
So again, that went very well, and network goes a far way in terms of just having that remembrance or having that conversation. What didn't go so well was that our start of our morning, we didn't have the proper preparations from before. So now that we learned that, we can now make the preparations tonight, going forward, that we want to have a productive day. So we know that the business hours closes around 5 p.m. or 4:30, right? So we want to make sure that, hey, we're getting up at like 6 a.m., getting ready at a slower pace and getting out at 8. Yes. Right. So that we can capitalize it. And I think also we need to put a timeline or a timestamp on every interaction. So for going out into interactions, we shouldn't be spending over 2 hours or 3 hours. You get what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of grounds to cover with Thunder Bay. Even though we love the networking, we still have to, have a time constraint on it, because in Thunder Bay, it's about 10 pages of employers. And we would really love to touch on those employers within the short amount of days that we're here. So that's my take.
And on Wednesday, we have a networking event,
which is a patio thing, which is great. So sundresses, everyone.
So we can meet and greet.
Who we meet and what's available and who's open to what.
Right.
I think that I like that a networking event is happening, and now we know about it just because we networked and we got information from people. So now we have 2 networking events on Thursday. We're having dinner at Eddie, who is in one of the last episodes that went up, who is in Thunder Bay here. We have dinner with him tomorrow, potentially him and his family. And so tomorrow we can go better plan out the day and have our game faces on, not get discouraged by any interaction that we had. I think that is something that we need to keep at the forefront. Everybody in Thunder Bay has their piece to say about immigration or how it's going or whatever. And whereas it is information, so we can act up on it, we don't necessarily allow it to affect our momentum per se. We're going to take it with a grain of salt, apply it where we can, but don't let it affect our mood or
the following days, rather, or the following hours in the day, because there are not many of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing that went well was just unwinding at the end of the day at the side of the lake, watching the sleeping giant.
Okay.
Yeah, that just, to me, that ended the day perfectly. Like, we were on a high and then we just came down and relaxed.
And handing your drumstick.
Drumstick.
See, you don't even remember the name. It's called Nutty. No.
It is day 2 in Thunder Bay, and today we have a whole, we did our what went well, what didn't go well yesterday. So yeah, today we definitely left out earlier than yesterday, and we had it all programmed in the GPS, all the stops that we're going to make to the employers that are relevant to the folks that are on the trip. So we are at our, what is this, 7th stop? 8? I've lost count.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We've made a lot of stops, which is really good ground covered. What's helpful is that we have the list of employers, the designated employers, printed. That way, I mean, some people know their designated employers off the top of their head. Others, we can reference the list. What on earth? Oh, I'm gonna let it through like how many get a blind. I get a blind.
Why a woman get blind?
And the Kia is taking us all over. This Kia Seltos doing very well. Since we've gotten to Thunder Bay, we haven't gotten gas. Mark you, we did get gas. Maybe the last 2-hour leg of the drive, we got gas. Got here, and right now we're on half a tank, so very fuel efficient. Mark you, Thunder Bay is pretty small. So right now, to get from one employer to the next, it was like a 2-minute drive, then a 3-minute drive, then a 9-minute drive, then a 3-minute drive. So the town where the most of the places are is not huge, not super spread out.
So what I learned today while visiting one of the designated employers was about the job postings and whether the position is unionized or not. Something interesting that the person from HR explained was that they may have several positions available, but if you look at the description or the code for the position, you'll be able to see if that post is unionized or not. And more than likely, if it's unionized, for those positions, they would hire based on seniority. So maybe someone in the company who is qualified may get that post, although it's advertised. So that's kind of discouraging, because maybe you will see 6 or 8 positions, but they are unionized. So, maybe there's someone next, more than likely there's someone next in line for that job. And for that particular employer, she explained that they have 11 unions. So a lot of the positions are unionized.
It is day 3, it is Wednesday, and we are on the road. Today we had more of a midday start. We also had a late night. I went to bed maybe after 2 or close to 3 o'clock. So now we are going to the bargain gas station where gas is $1.14. Yesterday when we came here, there was a long line of traffic and we were like, oh my gosh, is it that everybody is leaving work right now? But we learned that it is potentially the gas station. But then here's the narrow bridge, and this is kind of going into the indigenous territory, so to speak. So this is a tiny bridge.
The U2 fastener, I think that's a very good business that you guys should, if you're investing or if you're looking to source screws or any tools that require it's just nails that he does. But in the event, it was a very good company. His name was Swain, a very good leader.
He was a CEO?
Yes, he's the CEO of the company. And this just takes into effect that we can't look at persons and judge them based on what they wear or how they look. Because he was just in a jeans that was painted on, boots. He was in the field working. He was not in your typical necktie and stuff like that. All of his employees...
Stereotypical.
Yeah, stereotypical. Thank you for that. All of his employees, they smiled, and they were not just smiling because he was there. They were genuinely welcoming to both of us, and sharing and asking, what do you do? And very much interested in what our background was. So that was the highlight for the day. And this beautiful meal. I've never had vegan pasta with spinach and kale. So it's really good. And then we watched our coach's YouTube, which was just launched yesterday. Please check out that episode. It was very insightful. And we learned a lot of the do's and don'ts of networking and how to stand out, most importantly, because a lot of immigrants such as ourselves may just be doing the same thing that we see our immigrant friend doing, or the typical day-to-day, but standing out really says a lot, and doing what everyone else is doing won't put you in the right place or in the right rooms. So this was one big step for us. We came out of our comfort zone, spent a week together with persons that we've never thought of living with. Here we are in Thunder Bay, right?
So much so that they're looking for community living when they do move to Thunder Bay.
So yeah, that's the highlights of the day.
It is Thursday. It is day 4 in Thunder Bay. And we were left to hang dry this morning by the BNI in Thunder Bay, who has on their website that they have an in-person event every Thursday, 7:30. Get up early. We were on time. That must have been the sign. We were on time.
You got the job on the spot. I have an interview tomorrow.
What? At what time?
I drove. No. The look on her face, priceless, right?
People are looking for wins here.
I spoke to Dave, which is a supervisor. There we had a little laughy laugh. I told him, he's like, which department are you looking for? I'd be like, entertainment era. Oh, that's up my alley. So he was great. So we had a little chit chat, and he was saying the group reservations manager would be ideal for me, and they just filled it a week ago. So I was like, what was the posting, internal or external? Because Moa no. And he was like, it was internal first. And then it just filled a week ago. And if we come in a week ago, chances are we'd have 2 candidates.
That's good. That's positive.
Yeah, it is. It is because him give me a little insight. Him say it's just an insider. So them gonna see what need for tighten up here, because them really need people at front desk and admin. So let's see. But the group, when he's describing the description, the job description, the group reservations manager, that would be ideal because it's in the job description. Would be that.
Play. What was it like for you at this networking event? How many do you? All right, so I know you go to church and then you go to work. What else you do? So do you
don't go out that much? So the networking event was the first for me.
Was it a first? Okay. So tell me how it was for you. I know you're trying to eat your food, but
it went well. And it really pays off because you meet people from all over and you never can tell. They can help you to make the right connections in getting your job, getting jobs, and even leading up to your PR. So it was very good for me.
how was it like trying to have that first conversation?
I think the bingo card that they have, I think that helped.
Get to know a lot about the place, and they sold me on Thunder Bay, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
So that was good.
And we saw that bougie neighborhood. And some nice house for sure, yo. Okay. Well, that's a wrap. Tomorrow, we'll do the final round. We'll do the final rounds tomorrow, and we will do a formally documented show. And yeah, that's a wrap. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. College. And this is where we're gonna record an episode of the show. This was a bit of a coordination thing. Like all week I had to be thinking about this and trying to get people in place. And my people that are in place are like, we're doing interview today. Let's go. Hello. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Get comfortable. These ladies are also the ladies. Well, the three of them all three of them that you saw at one point are also going to be on the show.
Okay.
So I still have to finish up my outline to know the time slots for them, because if I do them at 1 and then do Frank at 1:30,
Okay.
and then potentially one other guest who I have to make sure his calendar.
Sounds good. So let me just make sure that
Oh, this is a different way.
Yeah.
It's lighter, right, Frank? This is more lighter, other than the steps.
Yeah, well, there's a different control. So, we have the table. I don't know if you want a table, but table like this. And you need more chairs?
So yeah, when I have them, 3 chairs.
3 chairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it could be closer, because like, I guess, where's your wire though? I guess you'll fit. The plant might be in our face.
But I'm just thinking we were going to use 2 labs, one for you and one for the guest. Now you got 3 guests.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work.
I have these. I don't
Your
know.
own? What do they record onto? They record right onto the
They
carpet.
can record on. Yeah, he's been here. I met one of your students yesterday.
Where was that?
Jesse. I have his card, but Jesse something. This is like the real deal.
How do you feel about setting up in here?
I feel good.
Like you have a studio, a live studio?
Yes. So I went from the live studio, where it's just a studio, right? There's no audience, to having the studio where you can have an audience to shoot the show. The next level, the seats will be filled.
Why you didn't invite them to the networking event?
This is it. This is it. Butts in seats. Butts in seats. That's the next level. But this is the vision.
All right, so you just came from your interviews with 3.
My live show. How did I? It was random, but it was also by instinct. So of course some research, like, oh my gosh, here am I connected to this person now? See our place there with our networking event that never happened.
So, not to...
Persian keychains.
Great. So,
Oh, maybe that thing.
okay. We just want to try the Thunder Bay specialty. What is it called again?
Persians.
Persians.
Yes.
What is it made of?
It is the cinnamon donut that have a Persian icing on the top. And it's a raspberry icing. That's the traditional Persians.
So you have different flavors here?
Yes, we do. When every day we have blueberry, raspberry, and the chocolate.
Okay.
3. Also, we go every month different color Persians. Blue, red, green, yellow, teal.
Mm-hmm.
They have a different fundraising theme. This
Oh.
month we had Thunder Bay gymnastics.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so this is it right here.
So, yeah, we've been talking about like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So all we got is just the thing. These are the raspberry, the traditional Persians.
Okay, but that's a specialty that everybody's telling us to try. It's fine. It's like a donut with icing. It's nice. So I have a YouTube channel called As Told by Canadian Immigrants, and we're just visiting Thunder Bay. So we live in Toronto.
Yes.
And some people might be considering moving here. So we came to check out the scene first, see what it's like. And then, yeah, so we've just been, we're capturing everything that all of our experiences in Thunder Bay. And we were told we're coming from Confederation College. And they said, yes, yeah, go and have this. This is Thunder Bay. As Told by Canadian Immigrants has taken it to the streets live from Marina Park in Thunder Bay. We just witnessed the blessing of the fleet, tiny little fleet, what a fleet, you know? And now we're just seeing the proceedings of the event, where Father blessed the boats. So he dipped his bush in the holy water and blessed the fleet. And it was, a good little crowd and a nice thing to witness on this beautiful day. I'm so happy for the sun here in beautiful Thunder Bay. Check out the sleeping giant over there, right there sleeping, never wakes up. Right there. See Ed? Yeah. Nice picture. Send it. I'll be a Thunder Bay resident. Yeah. Say hi.
On the boardwalk.
Having some fun.
Under the boardwalk.
It is our last day in Thunder Bay. And today we are doing more social things than maybe business things, but social is still good because we get to connect with people, of course. So far we had the breakfast with Eddie and his family. Then we went to the Blessing of the Fleet, which is an event that Claudine found online. So kudos to you, Claudine. How did you find it? Did you just search for events in Thunder Bay? What did you do?
It was on the Thunder Bay where Eddie works, on that side, on his work site. Yeah.
So it was on the site for the port of Thunder Bay. Just positivity. Look at this beautiful view. Are you seeing the sleeping giant? I hope you can. It's over here. There. Over there. Sleeping giant. That is the thing. It's on the flag, sleeping giant. So this is Thunder Bay. This is the kind of the end of our trip before we go. Before we drive back to the TO tomorrow. Expectations versus reality.
So expectations, I didn't have a lot. Like, I just wanted to see what Thunder Bay was about. I knew it was, in comparison to Toronto, I knew it would have been smaller and, well, I wouldn't say not as developed, but just, a smaller community. And that's exactly what it was. Here it's very community oriented, the people are friendly, and you can find all that you need. It's not like to say you're cut off from civilization or something like that. And nature, it's so beautiful here. Mm-hmm. It's really, really beautiful. And you can reach everywhere in like 5-10 minutes, so that's a plus. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Thunder Bay for the win.
Yeah. Okay, Claudine, you want to tell me expectations versus reality? Look at you looking out into the ocean and reflecting. I like that shot a while ago of you. I like that pose. Come and tell me. Get yourself in the frame. Sit in the frame. Now we're at the end of the trip. Basically, we're leaving in the morning. So, how was today for you?
Wonderful. My hopes are up, and just expecting great news. And also, I think if we had more time, we will all have.
Well, I think the beautiful thing about time is that the time continues once we leave, and so.
Because we have the network.
You made the network, and so now it's the next leg of the work is following up, making calls, and whenever you do is reminding them that, hey, remember I was there last week. Remember I popped in last week. So there's no disconnect between them thinking you're not in Thunder Bay, right? Because you were in Thunder Bay, you came, right? So, yeah.
So my expectations for this trip was to get at least a know-how of how the job market is. It wasn't for me to say, oh, get a job or get an interview. That would be great. That would be a bonus. But in a perfect world, it doesn't take 1 week for you to get a job or an interview. So my thing was that knowing the lay of the land, is it like Sault Ste. Marie? Is it like any other place that I've been to within the rural community? How does it feel? And it does, the reality of it is it does feel homey. it's a sense of community. I've only met persons yesterday and they've invited me over to their kids' playground, birthday party. So it's a good sense of community that I was not expecting so quickly once you put yourself out there. I was not expecting to meet such great high-profile people. Frank for one, Alexandra, Asta, and Parshawn. The list goes on.
Eddie.
Right? Eddie. Eddie and his wife and his kids. Amazing family. So went over to their house twice. Can you believe that? Twice in 1 week. So it's not like strangers anymore at this point, right? And they want us to move here. So for all immigrants who are thinking, hey, Thunder Bay is going to be a hardship, it's actually not if you put preparations, right? It doesn't have to be. So once you put preparation in play and that you're open to building a community and making new friends and networking, then that's good. Automatically the job will come afterwards. You know, you'll get that invitation to say, oh, send me a resume, or even not send your resume, show up tomorrow. So my expectations have been exceeded. The icing on the cake is next week or 2 weeks from now, or within a month, I get a call stating that, hey, we have this opportunity for you and I think that you'll be a great fit, apply for this. Following up is also key. Yes, it's 1 week, but following up on these persons that you've met and the networking is also good. So for now, my expectations were exceeded. I've ticked the box. Yes, it is a good place to live. Hustle and bustle outside of the GTA. The community, a sense of community, I get that. There's a lot of close-knit stores or retail stores that you're used to in the GTA. Walmart is here. Everything is here. Freshco is here. So everything is here for you to do. Activities are here to do as well. It's not short of that. And I build a network, which is great because that's the most memorable part. People are going to remember you for the experience and the memory. So in all good things, it's not coming to an end, but it's the start. I'm out.
So there you have it. That's what it's like to be on a trip under the as told by Canadian Immigrant ship. And this is our second trip. We did one last year to Nova Scotia, and this is trip number 2, and we did the recap at the end of Nova Scotia last year, and the feedback here is positive. And like she said, most importantly, we were prepared. We did some connections beforehand. I networked, and I was just bold and somewhat fearless. I just sent an email and hope that they respond, and people responded. And then people who know people. There's one person that I'm thinking now that I didn't get to connect with, but I'll connect with her virtually. She wasn't in town, and then when she was in town, the scheduling work because we had that recorded show. So yeah, there's Thunder Bay for you. There's actually a ship in the dock there, so a cruise ship. So people go on a cruise ship in Thunder Bay. I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're coming from, but they're here. But of course only in the summer, but it's beautiful. Like you can see, like it's kind of like I'm not going to say island vibe, but maybe an island vibe. Especially since we're from Jamaica, we can see the water. There's mountains that we can see, all around. There's like a high peak somewhere over there, over my shoulder right there. Of course, everything is so far away by the camera, but by the eye, it's so beautiful. So looking forward to that drive to get back safely to Toronto tomorrow, to our families and our lives. Back to life, back to reality, but that's not bad. That's okay. Yeah, so here is the Thunder Bay crew, the As Told by Canadian Immigrant groupies. Hi. Over and out. Peace.
If you find value after watching this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to this channel.